Police have issued an update after a 34-year-old man was stabbed inside a block of flats in Salford. Officers arrested a 26-year-old man on suspicion of attempted murder following the attack at 9 Acre Court on Taylorson Street, Ordsall. Following initial inquiries, Greater Manchester Police said the offender fled the scene by Metrolink, taking a tram to Manchester city centre. The 26-year-old man was later arrested near New Islington, following the incident on a Monday morning of February the 13th. An update had been released 2 days later to say he has since been released on bail, pending further inquiries. The 34-year-old man was taken to hospital with serious injuries after emergency services were called out at 8:35 on the Monday. Detective Inspector Chris Horsfield of GMP Salford District said on Monday that he was confident the incident was a targeted attack. He added, "I would urge members of the public that saw anything suspicious around 8:30 a.m. this morning around Taylorson Street or the Ordsall area of Salford, or witness the incident, to please come forward and report this information to us immediately. Your information, no matter how small it may seem, could be a huge help in our investigation going forward and will help us secure justice for the victim of this horrific attack." Officers spent several hours at the scene on Monday, and a Section 60 order was imposed for a stop and search in the Ordsall area. An eyewitness told Manchester Evening News he saw a man covered in blood with something sticking out of his upper torso close to the scene. It was about 8:35 a.m, he said. "I could hear raised voices and shouting, so I came out and saw a guy standing on the corner with a black bubble coat on, shouting to someone." He said he didn't have any clothes on under the coat, and he didn't as far as I could see. At one point he opened the coat and showed them. Then a bald guy in a t-shirt and shorts, full of blood, appeared. He had what looks like something impaled in his chest. Something was sticking out. I'm guessing it was a knife, but I can't be sure. One resident at 9 Acre Court described the building's lift looking like a bloodbath, while a commuter told the MEN that police had been searching for the offender on the Metrolink. She said the man who had got on at Salford Quays with just a jacket on, no pants or top underneath, who appeared to be intoxicated and was covered in blood. Suspects get rude awakening as police smash down doors and crack down on major cocaine and heroin gang. Four young men were held during raids in Wigan as part of an operation to tackle county line gangs. They have been arrested as part of a pre-dawn sweep to smash a drugs gang in Wigan thought to supply crack and cocaine and heroin across the northwest. The men, aged 23, 25, 26 and 32, were held following sweeps across the borough at 6 a.m. Thursday, the 9th of March. They will be in question on suspicion of conspiracy to supply Class A drugs. The arrests are part of a continuing investigation into a violent county lines drug gang based in Wigan set to prey on vulnerable addicts. Officers from GMP's Challenger team in Wigan executed 2 warrants, one in Garvin Jones Grove in Bickershaw and one in the Broomfield House in Standish. Pictures from the scene showed the suspects were detained and led away in handcuffs to be questioned in custody. Video showed officers sawing a front door in half before smashing it down to execute the search and arrest. The raids, part of an Operation Move On, follows an investigation into the alleged large-scale drug supply operating in Wigan and across the northwest. During the raids, police searched the properties and recovered approximately £4,000 in cash, cocaine, a machete and an axe, as well as 3 vehicles. Detective Inspector Zoe Nightingale said, "The executions of warrants occurring this morning are the result of operation into a criminal network suspected of supplying large quantities of crack cocaine and heroin using intimidation and violence along the way. We believe they are operating under a county lines model using mobile phones to supply drugs to vulnerable addicts and in turn make a substantial profit. The threat and risk of harm to those involved in and/or associated with serious and organised crime is why we continue to be relentless in our pursuit of these criminal networks to ultimately protect the community. I want to take this opportunity to encourage the public to report what is occurring in the area, knowing the police will take action." Horror as victim left covered in blood after stabbing at a party that got out of hand. Detectives have described the attack in Denton as an isolated incident. Residents were left in shock after 3 people were injured during a stabbing in Tameside. police were called to Yew Tree Road in Denton after reports of a disturbance at a flat. The incident happened on Saturday morning. A neighbour said the disturbance occurred at a party that got out of hand. Another said they heard shouting before seeing someone covered in blood, while another person who lived nearby said they were woken by a loud bang. Images taken at the scene showed what appeared to be blood on the front door of a flat. GMP were called to the scene on March 18th, 9:30 am. A woman was seriously hurt and has been hospitalised. 2 others turned up to the hospital with serious injuries. The injuries suffered by the trio are also to be not life-threatening. A GMP spokesperson said emergency services attended the scene and the woman was taken to hospital for further treatment. Thankfully, her injuries are not thought to be life-threatening. A further 2 individuals believed to be involved and presented at hospital with serious injuries, but they are not thought to be life-threatening also. Detectives described the stabbing as an isolated incident, but said extra patrols will be deployed to provide reassurance to the community. The block of flats remained cordoned off for the remainder of the afternoon as the police investigation continued. Detective Sergeant Pete Goddard of GMP Tameside District said, "A scene will continue to be in place while we conduct further searches and inquiries." Attempted abduction arrest after Mini driver followed boy and asked him to get in. A man has been arrested on suspicion of attempted abduction after a teenage boy was followed slowly by a man driving a Mini and asked to get into his car. The incident happened on Jackson's Lane in Hazel Grove, Stockport at around 5 p.m. on Monday, March 5th. Police said the 14-year-old boy was approached by a man in an orange and black Mini. The car was parked in a lay-by before the driver then asked the boy to get in. He drove slowly behind him along Jackson's Lane. Police said the boy got home safely. A man, aged in his 40s, has been arrested on suspicion of attempted abduction. He remains in custody to be questioned by detectives. Officers now want to speak to any witnesses or anyone who has any dashcam, CCTV, or doorbell footage of the incident. Detective Inspector Chris Irons of GMP's Stockport Division said, "I understand this incident may cause concern amongst the community, and I would like to reassure residents that we are working around the clock to investigate it.